everyone, it's Tawnie with Tawnie Talks. I'm so happy to be here hanging out with you. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope everyone's been kind to you today. Let's go ahead and get started into our fishbowl of questions and see what question we can help ourselves today. Today's question asks, Dear Tawnie, how do I get more people to like me? What a great question, and I'm sure a question that most of us have found ourselves asking at one point in time. How do we present ourselves to be a likable person? How do we get the next person we meet to remember us? Isn't that so nice? What a nice feeling to meet somebody and have them remember you. Well, I'm going to go ahead and talk today about how to be a likable person, and hopefully after today's video, you'll be likable or a little bit more likable if you aren't already.
Hi, please take a moment to like and subscribe to this channel so that we can grow this channel and help more people. Thanks so much.
And the first tip I'm going to share with you is remembering people's names. It's so nice when you meet someone that maybe you've only met once, but they remember your name. I always am so impressed by the people who have the ability to do that. Maybe you met them once and it's been some time, maybe weeks, months, maybe even years since you've seen them, and automatically they can recall your name. So you're walking up to them and they're saying, for example, Sally, how are you? It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. And you're thinking to yourself, who is this person? Of course, you're not going to say this out loud, right? Because that's not going to be a likable trait, but you're going to say, who is this person? What is their name? And how do they know me? So it's really nice when we can remember people's names when we first meet them. So how do you do that, especially if you're meeting a lot of people at one time? Well, you can always pair their name with another object. So for example, if I were to meet somebody whose name was Andrea, I would pair Andrea with the letter A. And what's A? Apple. So when I see Andrea, I'm going to say, what was the letter of her name? A for apple. Andrea. Okay, so sometimes people find that as being helpful. Another way to help you remember someone's name is remember the context of where you met that person. So if you can remember where you met the person, so for example, at a charity event, and you can remember maybe the circumstances around that, then that can kickstart your memory into remembering that person's name as well. Or another tip to help you remember someone's name is to kind of jot it down on your phone. So at the end of the event, when you're in your car or when you're at home and you have time, go ahead and pull up the Notes app on your phone or take out a old-fashioned pen and paper and just start writing down people's names that you've met. And that might help you remember people's names. So my tip to help you become more likable, my first tip is going to be remembering people's names. And I don't know why I keep leaning into the microphone when I say this. Probably because I'm trying to stress the importance of how important it is to try to remember people's names. My next tip for trying to make yourself more likable is to exude positive energy. So you're walking into a room, you're meeting a bunch of people you've never met before. You can choose to have what kind of energy you're going to bring into that room. You can have negative energy, you can have an I don't really want to be here, I'd rather be somewhere else energy, or you can choose to be engaging, joyful, happy, seeing that you're grateful to even be in a room with wonderful people. So choose your energy that you're going to bring into the room with you, and people will pick up on that energy as well. They're going to try to match your smile with smile, eye contact with eye contact. So I think it's fantastic. I love coming into a room and being happy and joyful because I can see the energy kind of go from person to person to person. And so I think it's really important that when you walk into a room, you get to choose whatever energy you bring in with you. And it doesn't matter if you've had a really terrible day. You don't have to bring that terrible day in with you when you're meeting somebody, okay? So make sure that you know you can always check yourself, choose what energy you have when you're meeting someone, and hopefully it's a positive one and they'll remember you for that. My next tip for helping you be more likable, and this is in no particular order, but make sure that you smell good. And even if you don't smell good, make sure that you smell neutral. So not bad, but neutral. It doesn't have to be fantastic and like smelling like a bunch of flowers, but just smell neutral. Like a solid neutral is good enough, so you want to make sure that your clothes don't smell like mildew. Sometimes we forget that extra dryer setting and we take the clothes out the dryer and it still hasn't dried all the way, so it smells like mildew. Right? So make sure your clothes smell decent and that, you've put on your deodorant, you're checking yourself, make sure you're groomed up good. and that you're presentable. You don't have to have the finest clothes or the finest shoes or the finest jewelry or anything, but just that you're presentable, you smell good. And if you, let's say, had a cup of coffee and you're meeting somebody, check your breath. Now, I am guilty of this because I enjoy drinking coffee, okay? So I always try to have gum in my purse or a mint right after I'm done with my coffee. But you know what? It doesn't hurt to kind of just check your breath when you're meeting somebody. And it doesn't hurt to do a quick breath check when you're meeting somebody. How you do that is totally up to you, but that would be a great tip that I would have for you is try to look presentable, try to smell. If you can't smell good, try to smell neutral and check your breath. And that'll help you leave a lasting impression on someone. My next tip for helping you be more likable is try to remember one fact about the people that you meet. So if you're meeting someone and they're telling a story, maybe they're going to Capri for summer and they seem very excited about it. The next time that you meet them and after they've had their trip, if you can recall their fantastic trip to Capri, you can ask them, by the way, how was your trip to Capri? And they can go ahead and tell you how their trip was. Is an immediate bond, an immediate connection that you remembered that they were going on a wonderful vacation and that you bothered to even recall it and then talk to them about it. That's really special. Another tip I would advise you when you're trying to be more likable is try to remember people's family members' names. So if you're meeting someone and they're introducing you to their child and they tell you their child's name, make a mental note of what their child's name is or their spouse's name is, because it means so much that not only are you remembering that person's name, but bonus points if you can remember their child's or their spouse's name as well. These are important people to this person, and it's really nice if you can do that. My next tip for helping you be more likable is lead in with a good, strong handshake or a good fist bump or a good smile. It's really nice that when someone meets you, they don't sense a big brick wall up. You're not guarded. You're smiling, you're friendly, you're willing to engage in conversation. Make sure you stick your hand out if you want to shake their hand or give them a fist bump, or even a little tap on the shoulder is okay too. You don't even need to touch them if you don't want to. Just smiling is good enough, and just being engaging is nice enough. People will pick up on your energy and they will engage you accordingly. And I'm going to just lean closer to the mic since I've been doing that. The energy you give, people will pick up on it and reflect it back to you. So go in with meeting somebody with positive energy, have a good firm handshake that exudes confidence, and go ahead and just be confident when you're meeting someone. My next tip for helping you be more likable is having a sense of humor. If you have the ability to make somebody smile or laugh, that's going to be a big win in your favor. So I would practice by telling jokes or looking up jokes or finding stories that have happened to me in my past that I found was humorous. Now, I know that a sense of humor isn't natural for a lot of people, but if you can try to find one or two things that you can bring up in conversation, maybe a funny story or a joke that you can bring up to break the ice, I think that's always going to be a big, big win when you're meeting people, is the ability to make them smile or laugh. And also, if you're able to just make jokes at yourself and just not take yourself so seriously or any situation seriously, if you can see a sense of humor in any situation, that's really going to be beneficial for you with managing stress and improving upon your coping skills. And it really just bonds people when people are able to laugh together. After all, a smile is a universal language. So go ahead and smile and communicate and help yourself to be more likable. My next tip to help you be more likable is maintaining good eye contact. Sometimes when we meet someone, we might have a lot of things going on in our mind, and inadvertently, our eyes might be drifting to the side or wondering about the next thing we have to do, when the person is standing right in front of us speaking to us can pick up on the fact that we're not giving them that eye contact as they're talking to us. And that can convey to that person that we're not interested in what they have to say. And that's not going to be a good look for you. So go ahead and when you're speaking to someone, maintain that eye contact, nod your head, activate those reflective listening skills. Bonus points for you if you can even summarize the last sentence of what they said so that they know that you're listening. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where you can't have an extended conversation or you really have to go somewhere, then it's totally okay to just excuse yourself and say, I'd love to catch up later. I just have something that I have to attend to, but let's catch up again soon. I can't wait to finish this conversation. It allows the person some closure so they're not feeling like you just cut them off and ran to another place, but it allows them some closure, and it ends on a really good positive note. So they're going to be left feeling, wow, I can't wait to see that person again. They can't wait to talk to me again. That was really nice of them to end our conversation that way. It wasn't abrupt. There was a nice closing statement to it. So practice those closing statements when you need to move on to another conversation or another activity, and always try to end with a smile, okay? Even throw in a handshake if you'd like to as well. Another wonderful tip I'd love to share with you to make yourself more likable. And my last tip for today's question on how to make yourself more likable is watch your body language. Watch how your body language is communicating your state of mind to the people in the room. So you might have a smile on your face, but your hands might be doing something like this, or you might be tapping your feet a lot, or you might be looking at your watch a lot, or you might be looking around at the room like you can't wait to get out of there. So make sure that you're watching your body language. I know sometimes having crossed arms can signify that you're closed off, standoffish, not willing to engage in communication, but that's not the truth all the time. So if you're more comfortable having your arms crossed like this, I totally get it. But when you're able to open up those arms, speak with your hands, leave this frontal part open and engaging and inviting to people, and just make sure that you're watching your body language. If you need to know what time it is and someone's speaking and you can't help yourself but looking down at your watch or your phone, kind of just very discreetly look underneath the table and then look up and smile. Okay, so go ahead and watch your body language, how you're communicating to people. Even if you're not feeling confident inside, no one's going to know. No one's going to know you're not feeling confident. So smiling, watching your posture and your body language, and being mindful of how your body language is communicating your state of mind to others and what it conveys is a wonderful tip to help you become more likable. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you today on how to become more likable. Also want to add that if you've met someone that you really feel connected to, or maybe there's a great business deal that might be possible with this person, don't be afraid to follow up on that conversation you had with them and ask for a contact information or a business card to follow up on any leads that you might have, or even arranging a lunch date or something with that person in the future. Have the confidence to continue that conversation after you've met, because if you're feeling really great about this person, most likely they're going to be feeling great and feeling the same energy about you. So don't be afraid to follow up on the conversation and ask for a way to communicate at a later time. So this concludes the end of this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you've liked it, go ahead and click on subscribe, like, and share this video so hopefully we can grow this channel together. And if no one's told you yet today, I want you to know how special, how loved, how unique you are, and that there's no one like you in the whole entire world. And I can't wait to see you again on the next video.